All right, so if you haven't done so already, I encourage you to come over to the channel so you can see some of these tools in action. I release quite a few of them here, and it's Friday, so why not just give you guys one more, the CVD. We're going to take a look at that, but the MTF, glow bars, the velocity tool with the radar, the actual maps there, you can see them, the histograms, pulsating bubbles, that's important. And then, of course, that's a part of that information there. The map, I have the map on here too. You can kind of see that. That's where your bar is likely not to close. But you can tell here, pretty much all of that is in frame. I wanted to make sure you can see that. I also included some aesthetics when it comes to how the tape, well, this is your streamer, how the streamer actually tracks the activity as well. And then I did this too for the institutional side of it. I wanted you guys to have something just visually to go with. But there's that drop off, all right? 733. They came back to revisit. Now, if you take a look at the chart, of course, they ended up moving down and sweeping that area. All right, so now let's take a look at that CVD. Let's take a real quick look. I don't want to be before you long. I just threw it on the chart and just let it plot just for a little bit here, and you can kind of see they caught that bottom. There's your divergence there. It's a gauge. Let me make sure you can see the gauge. It's a gauge down at the bottom, an imbalance gauge. It tracks that information too, and so I'll just let this play for just a couple bars here. You can use the delta bars that I have that actually puts the delta on the bars with the profile and imbalance and all that stuff. I just didn't want to do all of that. I know I already shown you guys that, so I was like, I'm not going to just do all of that. But I did put that ladder there so you can kind of have some reference point. But here, all of this information is here, and this changes based on the state. So it'll actually tell you strong buy, strong sell when it's really, really dominant. Uh, it's important. Just put it like that. So this is my goal at a CVD. This is my goal at it. So there's the retest back down into the bearish divergence. Boom, take off to the upside. And again, if you pause the video, you can absolutely see that information there. They picked up that bottom. I knew breaking that shoulder was important. So I just wanted to see what was going to be the reaction before I threw that information on that chart. You can see they trapped those buyers up under that. The sellers was coming in before it even flipped. I don't know if you can see that, but them pulsating docs, yeah, they were there coming in right before the flip, and then of course they moved it down there into that bottom. So yeah, this is your CVD. This is your CVD, and again, hopefully it'll fire off something in the next let's say 3 minutes. I'll give you 3 minutes on it. Hopefully it'll fire off something that's visually satisfying, I guess. Different ways to look at the market. Again, all of that information that I've been showing you guys over the last what four videos. All of that stuff is pretty much right in front of you, I believe. You got your outlier up there, and then of course you got your gauge. This gauge actually shakes, and I don't know if I mentioned that. It actually shakes and vibrate, and then announce the winner. All right, I want to make sure I tell you that too. So it's important. Everything that I put on this platform here, it's important. Try to keep track of what they're doing behind the activity. That's all. And so your blue bubbles that you actually were seeing, it did say sweep, sell, sweep, buy, but I figure I visually put some color into it. So if you're, of course, guided by that visually, that will assist you when it comes to just looking at the chart so you don't have to read it, as well as the streamer, and then of course the institutional heat map there. All right, I wanted to put those colors in there to help you guys out. I know what it means, but I want to help you out. And if you don't mind, again, just come take a look. You don't have to purchase anything. Again, I'm providing information to those that just need a little bit of help, because that's all this is. It's just a little bit of help. I read charts by themselves, with nothing on them. Stripped down, absolutely nothing on them. You can visit me over at Futures Trading to experience that. I absolutely do that. So I don't need any of this stuff. I started in technicals. I do want to say that. I started there. That's how I know to do all this stuff. I started there before I actually learned how to actually read the chart and identify majority. All right, that's all it is, majority in the chart. So that's why I'm able to get in here and manipulate tools in order to get the market to just show you what it's doing. I can explain it to you with just a plain chart, but just to show it to you with context, yeah, I got some tools for that as well. All right, so we're pushing up on our last few seconds here. They wasn't able to fire off the state. We're still sitting at neutral, but you can see it's climbing. All right, so I wish you all the best with your trading. Take care.